Hello, you are welcome to Banbo News. My name is Jane Bediako. Our first story, President John Dramani Mahama has remitted the 4-month prison sentence handed to the Muntie FM host and the 2 panelists who were convicted of contempt by the Supreme Court. Barely a month ago, Alisa Nelson, Godwin Akugan, and Sally Fumasi, alias Mugabe, had been sentenced to serve 4 months in jail and paid a fine of 10,000 Ghana cedis each, but have now been granted their freedom 3 months earlier. As a result, their release is expected before the end of this month, August 2016. The trio had expressed their regret for the comment they made on the Accra-based radio station and called on the president to bear in mind the embarrassment their conduct and incarceration has caused their loved ones in his consideration of the petition and reverse the harsh and excessive sentence. Mr. Adam Bona, the CEO of Security Warehouse Limited and security expert, expresses his opinion on this prerogative and constitutional obligation exercised by the president.
My candid opinion, if you ask me, I would say that the president acted within the confines of the Constitution, just as the Supreme Court judges also acted by sentencing them to a fine and also to custodial, sentence. I would want to say, in all this, it is the rule of law that wins, and the 1992 Constitution actually made it clear that the president is the only person who can evoke this under Article 72 of the 1992 Constitution to give them some partial pardon, and he's done that. I think we should, those who are not happy, I think they don't have a case. You have an opinion, I have an opinion, but the point is that the president has not acted outside the constitution of this land. He's acted within the constitution of the land, and I'll give him thumb up.
The police in Tema say they have discovered an armed robbery training ground where shooting practice takes place for new recruits.
Briefing the media on Sunday, ASP Obin indicated that the discovery came after 5 armed men attacked a Chinese factory in Tema industrial area and made away with some valuables. Upon a tip-off, police patrol teams were dispatched to the suspected hideout of the suspected criminals. Upon seeing the police, they opened fire and the police returned fire instantly, killing 1. 2 of the suspects escaped with gunshot wounds and 1 was arrested, according to the police. Items retrieved were 72 cartridges and some empty plastic bottles at the scene. ASP Obin appealed to the general public to assist the police with any information that could lead to the arrest of the 2 escapees.
What's wrong?
They took all my precious stuff.
Did they harm you?
Just when they were about to, they hit the siren and bolted.
Scout the area. You don't have security cameras?
They stole everything.
I thought you used ghost cameras from a security warehouse.
Security warehouse?
Yes, you should. They couldn't have gotten away the way they did without either being electrocuted or being caught on a CCTV camera.
Yes, their gadgets are stuck.
The motor vehicle has become part and parcel of the everyday human activity. It enables people to move from one place to the other faster and with convenience make life a lot easier. Good roads make movement of vehicle easy, but does that apply to pedestrians using the zebra crossing on good roads? Banbo News regional reporter brought you a story on the significance significance of zebra crossing?
Vehicles are controlled by humans, and the vehicle being used on the streets make the pedestrian, vehicle, and the road to have a kind of relationship. Though the three work hand in hand, mostly the safety of the pedestrian on the road is always sidelined. It is very sad that in the everyday driving activities of drivers, the safety of the pedestrian is always taken for granted. Under normal circumstances, the pedestrian is supposed to go through the routine of looking left, right, and left again before crossing the road. But what if there are a lot of cars going past? In this case, it will be pointless if the passenger goes through the routine, since the vehicles will be in no position to stop for the pedestrian to cross due to one reason or the other. In a situation like this, the only thing that can help the pedestrian in crossing is a zebra crossing. The question is, what if the zebra crossing is present and drivers do not stop for pedestrians to make good use of it? Banbo News teams were on some streets of Accra to find out how drivers and pedestrians observe the zebra crossing. A zebra crossing is a type of pedestrian crossing used in many countries around the world, and it is the oldest established form of controlled pedestrian crossing. Our camera captured some pedestrians standing for a long time, waiting for drivers to stop for them to cross. Others have to force their way through in order to avoid the long minutes of waiting. Some of these pedestrians shared their opinion with the news team.
The zebra crossing here say, "A baby like pedestrians, you know,
What I know about zebra crossing is that if you are to cross a main road and there's not an overhead or a passway, you go to the zebra crossing, you wait, you look at your left, your right, and your left again. Then when a car is not coming, then you cross. If you are crossing and any car is coming, the car have to stop, then you cross. You don't have to, if the car knock you at the zebra crossing, he has caused a crime.
The zebra crossing the Wujinema, Ubetimaginum say, Kabi and whom Adumandum Wama and Yama and Chamudia. Ubejina Kwana was what do I need back as a who sick him and no kind of Bejinakas Wujinama, yes, and Padia, Wujinavana, deasam.
Some people they see you and then they don't even care seeing somebody standing there. They won't stop for you to pass, or sometimes you just have to make that attempt, or you just have to like force yourself to cross before they will stop.
Ghana drivers there, honestly speaking, there, and to say other countries. Ghana, Ujin, imagine or how I say Ujin zebra crossing more, Ubre. You won't cry and feel. So one for so one,
My advice is that some of them is like they don't know the meaning of the zebra crossing. They need to be educated. They need to be talked to. The road and safety commissions have to put signals to show that there's a zebra crossing at a particular point, because some of them have the license, but they don't know some of the road signals on the roads.
The advice I'm wording my is a driver. Zebra crossing your baby, Uboni Park, or Honoma, or trouble. And to know the moment I was obedient on Pelsa there. We are careful now, on Tremo.
While some drivers try so hard to take pedestrian crossing into consideration and therefore allows pedestrians to cross with ease, others are seen driving through or stop on the zebra crossing. Banbo News team spotted a vehicle stop on the zebra crossing, disembarking and embarking passengers. Others were seen driving through, oblivious of the presence of pedestrians in the middle of the road. Despite the presence of the zebra crossing, some pedestrians decided to cross the road without using the zebra crossing. The Executive Director of Security Warehouse Limited, Ms. Mabel Chidiga, advises drivers and pedestrians in using the zebra crossing to ensure safety on our roads.
When you get to the zebra crossing, most often you stop for people to cross, and other drivers who are also coming might not stop. Sometimes it leads to fatal accidents. We are supposed to know at what point to stop when you get to the zebra crossing. The driving schools are supposed to teach the drivers before they pass out to come on the road. And those who are already there, maybe there should be some media education for them to also understand that children are even left on their own to cross. Even if there's a 2-year-old, a child waiting to cross, just when you get there, it's a zebra crossing. You will see it before you get there. So you are supposed to be watching.
The CEO of Security Warehouse Limited, Mr. Adam Bona, also adds his voice, saying the zebra crossing signs are missing some very essential security alerts, to which sometimes results in killing of the pedestrians.
The best to do is to ensure that these areas are properly marked so that oncoming drivers or other road users would know that they are approaching, what do you call it, the pedestrian crossing. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, zebra crossings are sited at locations, at obscured locations, at locations where it is difficult to actually tell if there's a zebra crossing. The best practice is to ensure you have this upright amber light that continuously is beeping or continuously is flashing. That way, if you have, what do you call it, other motorists or other drivers who are approaching some meters away, you are able to tell that you are approaching a zebra crossing, a pedestrian crossing. But unfortunately, we don't have that here, and that has led to needless deaths by, other road users who wanted to cross. And there is this issue about who has the right of way when it comes to pedestrian crossing. At that point, let me emphasize, at that point, the human being who is standing by that pedestrian crossing or the zebra crossing has the right of way. Because if you go through most of the roads, you would realize that the only place that is earmarked for human beings who are crossing is the zebra crossing or pedestrian crossing. But unfortunately, in this country, you would realize you have the drivers or other road users, bicycle riders and motorbike riders, drivers, ignoring those standing by the pedestrian crossing. It is almost like other human beings or human beings crossing would have to, at the pedestrian crossing, would have to usually beg drivers to stop before they cross, which is wrong.